What is happening? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age 2. So, last episode, we took care of some Sarcomex smuggling going on here. There was an elf that was basically upset at the Canare for stealing Dalish, or stealing in quotes, to the Qun, which in reality, her people were just converting because they saw the appeal, which, from their perspective, I pretty much agree with. I mean, they're living in some shit slum. What has the Dalish culture and religion ever done for them? The Qun offers them stability, purpose, protection from the Canare, since the Canare are so feared and respected. I can totally see how some alienage elves would want to join the Qun. Anyways, so she lost her marbles, stole some Canary poison, and deployed it inside the slums. Ironically, the people she claimed to defend is where she deployed that poison. And she basically just wanted to kill a bunch of people to make the Chantry mad at the Canare so they can pop things off here. And we also know a lot about Sister Petrine in that situation too. She's the one that wants to pop those things off, and she has allies too. The elf had mentioned riling up the faithful, and the faithful obviously is alluding to Sister Petrine, so that shady little wench is still behind some of that stuff too. Anyways, we got all that squared away. We told the Arishok about it, and the Arishok actually finally broke his stoicism. He was pretty angry and upset leading up into that conversation. So tensions are definitely rising here. And then right at the end of last episode, the Viscount said that some of the Arishok's envoys have gone missing. So we're right on the edge of the boiling pot here. And ironically, now we're actually going to take a little break from that boiling pot and take care of some of our companion quests. We're obviously here in the barracks because we'll be starting with Aveline. But we'll see how long her quest takes, and we'll see how many we can knock off here in the meantime. I should go take care of the Varterol at some point in this act as well. A bit of knowledge is fine. That's just the tomes that we're getting in the background. Alright, Aveline, what can we do for you?
Hawk, I need a favor that I can only trust to you.
Interesting.
You can always ask.
It should be a small matter, but I worry.
What's the
I
problem?
need you to give something to Guardsman Donnick, here in the barracks. No questions, and he is not to know it's from me.
Well, you already know I'm not going to ask no questions, so what's going on here?
Donnick, the one we pulled from an ambush.
The event that put me here. But this is a different need of
That's
the guard
funny.
and its captain. And you're doing very badly at the no
Yeah.
questions.
She's
part.
like, no questions asked. The first thing I do is go immediately into asking questions.
You need me for something as simple as this.
I protect many people, citizens well beyond the men and women I command. But who do I really know besides you? I need a friend to do this. It's a short list.
Well, I'm honored to be the messenger boy. What's going
There
on?
must be something important if you're going to all this trouble.
That's none of your business.
That seems abrupt, even for you.
I already regret this. I'm not about to make it worse by exposing unnecessary facts.
Well, Aveline, you did kind of
You
make
can
it my
accept that or
business.
not, but that's all I can say.
I mean, of course I'll help you, but
Very well,
you
Aveline.
did kind of make it my
If it means
business
that
by
much.
bringing me into this.
Thank you. And please hurry back with his reaction. I appreciate this, Hawk. I really do.
You want me to tell you how he reacts to the package? Okay. Well, I'm not sure what she's doing here, but apparently we gotta keep an eye on your reactions, Donnick.
Guardsman Donnick. Sir Hawk. It's been some time. You're here in Hightown now, right?
Those sideburns are
I think the captain
strong.
mentioned it. I see your uncle now and then on my patrols, but we don't talk.
No ill effects from the ambush, I trust.
They got me pretty good, I'll admit. But they fared worse, so I can't complain.
They're in the ground and
It's
you're
a
in the
good career
barracks.
If you're careful. A short one if you're not. And the captain makes sure we're careful.
I would imagine you are much less statistically likely to end up on the fatality report now that Aveline is in charge. I doubt she'll ever be sacrificing anybody for a payment.
This is for you. It's apparently very important.
I'll take you at your word. It's a copper relief of marigolds? And it helpfully says so. Marigolds. Well,
Copper flowers.
crafty. Is there a meaning to this that I should know?
Just keep it. I'm sure it's more than it seems.
It would have to be.
We delivered copper
I'm sure we
flowers.
both have things to do, of varying import.
Yeah, I did kind of chub that up a little bit before I
Made us look like
ended
idiots.
in those. Now I'm glad I brought Isabella for this. She'll have some interesting takes on this quest. Aveline, do you have a crush?
You're back. Of course you are. You're efficient. Get things done, good or ill. So, how did Donick react?
As one might expect when confused.
I thought it was clear. Metal is strong, copper ages well, flowers are soft.
Are you
I've
calling
thought
him
about this the
strong,
wrong way.
soft,
Don't
and
talk
did
to
he
him
aged
again.
well?
Just take this, the patrols for next week. Post it to the roster and just... listen.
Really? Just walk over there and post the roster?
I want his honest reaction without the captain present.
You could
Seems
just
like
have
a-
him hauled off.
This isn't about an accusation
You
I
just
can
kidnap
put in a
him?
report and explain. I need someone unofficial.
All right. Posting the roster just over there.
I need to know exactly how he reacts. That's key.
Right.
Thank you.
You know,
Too many hits to the head. Or not enough.
Aveline. Courtship usually starts with a conversation. Not with hidden gifts. He has no idea who they're from.
Hey, Donick! Whose pucker have you been greasing to get High Town?
What? You're daft. I'm working dockside on those smugglers.
Says here you're guarding the square. Always been a make-work job, that one. You someone's pet?
Check your eyes. It's a mistake.
Says the pet.
You have got to be kidding me. What did I do to get that post?
Well, I don't think that went over as you expected.
Donick thinks I'm punishing him. But Hightown is a safe patrol, a reward.
You wanted his reaction.
He's trying to bribe his affection.
Right. I can fix this. I need 3 goats and a sheaf of wheat. You'll take them to his mother.
I'm not taking goats to somebody's mother, Aveline.
It's a dowry tradition. Maybe it will smooth the process.
I'm not delivering
Hold a
goats.
moment. You're sweet on the boy.
Just not catching that, are you,
Me,
Isabella?
whore. I will break you.
Oh, this is glorious. All this flailing is her idea of courtship.
That's amusing.
Aveline, you know you can talk to me.
What am I to say? That a grown woman can't speak her mind? I've been focused on being captain for so long, that's all I know.
I'm confused. Wasn't Lady Manhands...
Lady Manhands.
That was a long time ago. It was easier, or seemed to be.
I can't imagine you having trouble speaking your mind.
It's just fear. I know it's foolish, but I can't get away from it. What about you and Isabella? I know she doesn't have 2 thoughts to rub together, but the danger of your lives must worry you.
She has some thoughts in her head. Most of them aren't relevant to the situations at hand, though.
Maybe we're not the best example.
But you understand. I feel paralyzed. I hate it.
See, you deal with all kinds of high stakes, Aveline. This should be easy for you.
Sounds like you're ready to move on.
It's been 4 years since Wesley. Stop trying to protect me.
That's right. She's made her peace. Now let her get one.
Let her get one.
So you've been by yourself since we came to Kirkwall?
Wait, you've gone 4 years without. You must creak like a rusty hinge.
Many people have their lives because of me.
But poor you. No life of your own.
We both place others above ourselves. I happen to do it clothed.
You're splitting hairs, but wishing someone would split yours.
I've had enough of your loose lips. Like many, I'm sure.
Ooh.
Oh, touche. Prig.
Slattern!
If I might put this back on track.
Yeah, I like you, Isabella, but I think Aveline might win that one, actually. Isabella could definitely take her in a battle of words. Battle of swords might be a little more difficult.
I can drag him in here right now. Just say the word.
Oh, and how would that look? The captain ordering her guardsmen to... It wouldn't help.
So go out. Get him drunk. Shame is a great equalizer.
What? Just go out somewhere? Like it's that easy?
That's usually how it goes.
What? Too simple?
Better than 3 goats and a sheaf of wheat.
Invite him to the Hanged Man. Don't tell him about me. Make something up. It's a surprise, or just you, or a group. Anything to get him there.
Oh,
He's
God.
not like the others. I don't want him to think he's meeting the captain.
Just do this yourself. In my experience, anything like this, where you start getting people to intervene like this, it never goes over well. It seems way more genuine and upfront if you do it yourself. I suppose that's maybe my take as a man. Maybe it's different for a woman, but...
Sir Ardonic, are you
Always
free?
points for initiative,
I
I
need to
think.
ask you something.
I have no immediate patrols. Why?
You want to go out and get shit-faced so my friend can flirt with you later in the night?
It's nothing to be concerned about. Meet me at the Hanged Man.
Very well, Sir Hawk. I guess I'll see you there.
Let's see if I was Hawk. I would have just told him right there up front. I'd be like, look, Aveline
No.
is sweet on you. She wants to talk to you, but she's terrified. She's a little out of practice. But she really likes you. She'd like to meet you at the Hangman. She told me not to tell you, so act surprised. But, like, you gotta go take some initiative here. You like her? How you feeling about Aveline? Kind of gauge his interest, and then I just set him up without her knowing that I had set them up. Because she's hopeless. There just needs to be an initial spark or conversation. Then it'll all work better. Oh, did I fuck up here? Was I supposed to go tell Aveline that, make sure that me and Aveline Donic goes well this evening. She probably has to be at my party. Let's see. Who we dropping out for this? Anders, you don't need to be here to see Aveline embarrass herself.
I don't get here as often as I should, even as captain.
Interesting. Okay, perhaps I was supposed to, tell Aveline about that, so bear with me. I probably have to take her to the barracks for it. Or actually, you know what? I'm silly. Probably has to be at night, right? Indeed. Yeah, there it is. Okay, Aveline. You can dip back out now. I won't haul you over there, too. I guess Anders gets to watch the embarrassment after all. This looks fun.
There were supposed to be others coming, right?
Plans change. Apparently.
Oh, God.
Right. Look, I should really,
Just give it a moment.
At least order a drink. You gotta talk about something.
Another round?
make a yes.
There we go. Get him limbered up a little. Oh, God. You're an adult. You're a grown-ass woman. Get your ass over here. About the second-hand awkwardness. You talk about killing monsters or something, surely. We have some common interests.
Aveline is great.
Look, if this was all a plan for you to get closer to the captain, maybe you should just talk to her.
Well, that's what I've been telling her to do to you.
How sad would it be if you needed a go-between? Have some backbone.
Couldn't agree
I
more.
have to go. Thanks for the drinks.
Hold up. You should be aware that I came here with Aveline, right? You should know it's not like that. I know her plenty.
I couldn't do it. What did he say?
Well, he thinks I'm trying to bed you now,
I
so
arranged this to get to you.
that's a fun
I'm an
twist.
idiot.
Yeah, you are.
Admitting it is a good step. Where are you heading next?
The barracks, for Eldon, the deepest hole I can find.
You've never been the hiding type.
I know, all right, but I freeze up. The only place I'm not a mess is on patrol. And killing highwaymen doesn't afford much opportunity for banter.
Here come the excuses.
I will not risk.
That's the problem. Risk, or so help me, I will bed the man myself.
Then I'll clear the way, and you'll talk to Donick.
Putting you in danger just makes it worse.
We'll be fine.
You made it my problem. I'm fixing it.
Very well, Hawk. You pushed. You clear the route up the Wounded Coast, and I will live to regret this, I'm sure.
I suspect not. Well, Aveline didn't appreciate my snarky comment, but Isabela did. Right, so signal to Aveline when each section of the Wounded Coast is clear, so she and Donick can talk uninterrupted. Let's get out of here. Let's try and unfuck this situation. It is absurd to me that Aveline, of all people, is the one that's having a hard time just talking to somebody. She's fought ogres, she had to kill her husband through like a darkspawn invasion, and she's having a hard time talking to guardsman Donick. It's quite funny. And I love the way her and Isabela interact with each other, though she calls her a whore. Not too fond on the whole or I'll bet it myself situation, since me and Isabela are technically in a relationship, but I'll let that slide for the sake of the joke. Barbari. I wish they weren't having me do this. See, Anda's health pretty low, but I think he's good. I think I have the aggro for everything here, so he should just be chilling back there. And my dog's taking care of the last Mabari. And Aveline. Well, actually, Isabela. It is your turn to get a level up, so let's get you at 38. And then we'll put 1 into Dex, because you need 40. Once you're at 40, we won't have to touch your cunning again. That'll just be everything you need for Act 3, so... Alright. We don't really need the stealth chance here. Follow through, stamina regeneration, and blindside. Everything you need here, you don't really need confusion. It might finally be time, actually, to get into a swashbuckler. We have lacerate. Lacerate does more against staggered. Backstab is a staggered thing too. While this mode is active, any attack from the rogue's deadly blades offer a chance to inflict bleeding wounds that cause additional damage for a short time. Do we want to give you lacerate, or do we want to go into swashbuckler? Savvy and across the bow. Isabela issues an irresistible challenge to a single foe. The enemy abandons its other opponent and heads straight for the seafarer. We have Savvy, which is while this mode is active, Isabela's fighting instincts allow her to perceive enemy attacks before they happen. Although she inflicts less damage, for every enemy near Isabela, these effects increase. Damage, -10 per enemy, but defense is +10. Okay, let's get her Lacerate. Lacerate will be useful. Those bleeding wounds sound like a good shot.
So this route's pretty quiet?
Yes, and it's a real nice night for an evening.
As you say, Captain.
It's a real nice night for an evening.
Yes, as I say.
Just talk to the man.
Micah, she's bad at this.
Yeah. See, all this stuff is always, for all of time, it's just been as simple as being around each other and seeing if you vibe. Take a man out for coffee. If there ain't coffee, then take him out for a drink. That's what I would do if I was in her situation and I was like sweet on a female god. Just take her out for a drink, take her out for a coffee. This whole like copper marigolds and all that stuff, like, I get it's medieval times or dark ages or whatever, but god damn, copper flowers. Adrenaline going a little, get some bonus damage. Isabela, it is you. Get the fuck back here.
I'm coming!
Get some of this aggro. Someone does need a good spanking, but I don't think it's one of the enemies, actually. I think it might be Aveline. 4 years. What did she say? Creak like a rusty hinge. Loot up some of this stuff. Damn, I guess Isabela came all the way back here to the skeleton archers. That'd be the aggressive son. You gotta be a little careful sometimes with that. These look like Canary signal flares.
If it isn't done right, the blade can be too soft. Quenching the steel is a vital step that can make or break a sword.
Right.
A blade for every purpose. What do you think about blades?
I'm sorry, Captain. I drifted off a bit.
What do you think about blades? You know, you could ask other things like,
Painful.
what do you think about family? What do you think about marriage, kids, relationships? What do you think about the state of the world? You know, there's plenty of things you can do. I think this dank cave is actually one of the things we need for those dark tomes, but we are here to assist our hopeless friend right now, not do the dark tomes, so... Let's see. Of course I ran into a trap. Spotting that for me, Isabela. Oh, they're all cooked. I really like when the tactics work like that. Oh, your ass is grass. Hate that fucking barrier they use. Such a fucking coward. Speed boost up. And that's why I kept Mighty Blow. And to not literally just for mages to knock them back when they're doing their bullshit. Stunning them out of their shield or their blood magic spells is so helpful. They're like a nightmare if you don't have the ability to do that.
Well, guardsman, good patrol. I think we're done, and Hawk, what a surprise. What are you doing here?
Saving the fucking day.
Hawk, don't.
You'll thank me later, I think.
I think you'll come around once it's all out in the open.
Would someone please tell me what's going on?
It would be my pleasure,
You're a
Sideburns.
daft couple of... Oh, take a hint and bend her over a basin, will you?
Captain? I should get back to the barracks.
Isabela does not have a subtle touch at all, does she?
I thought we were friends.
Friends sometimes push.
I have to fix this. You'll file a complaint, ask for a transfer. You're coming to the barracks to explain why you put him on the spot. Double time, Hawk, or so help me.
Take a hint and bend her over a basin, would you? Doing that when she's like so obviously shy and struggling with this is so fucking funny. Just bend her over a basin, would you? Alright, he looked like he got a little shook by it too. Alright, so now we took care of that little thing. Let's dip in here and see what this is about. Let's see what this dank cave is before we move on. Because if the Dark Tome isn't here, I'd like to get this done beforehand. It might actually not be. It's been so long since I consistently recorded in this game that I actually don't recall if I've been here already or not, so... But the lack of enemy fights is certainly leading me to believe that we have. Yeah, okay, we did clear this. Alright. Not for the Dark Tome. I think we're missing 2? I think we're missing 2 of them. Have to look into finding them a little later. But the unfortunate reality of taking breaks like that from recording is you get all fucking mixed up. That's why I try really hard not to do it, but I was so sick I didn't really have a choice. Now I'm all like twisted on where I was and what I was doing. I've been rewatching The Walking Dead while I was sick though, and damn, that show used to be good. The first 4 seasons of that are fucking phenomenal. Well, the last episode I just watched is where they arrived at Terminus, but if you like those dark apocalyptic shows like that, I would definitely recommend The Walking Dead, at least the first little bit of it. I wouldn't watch it to its conclusion. I think this one's probably ultimately closer. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it all the way to the end of the show, because I'm unfortunately one of those people that when they start something, they kind of got to finish it. So I ended up watching all like 12 seasons of The Walking Dead. It doesn't maintain its goodness. I think probably season 6 or 7 was probably the last good ones, but it really wasn't the same after the first two. But that's because they dropped Frank Darabont. They dropped the showrunner that made the first two so popular in a wildly genius move. So yeah, I'd recommend that. I'd also recommend the first season of Last of Us very highly too. I rewatched that in order to get ready for season 2, which I probably shouldn't have done because, of course, season 2 followed game 2, so it's not very good. I think the audience rating has dropped by 50% since the second episode, which is to be expected. I'm not sure why they didn't try and fix it, but there you go. I've kind of just been laid up watching shows for a while. I like hitting you guys with media recommends. Maybe I'll eventually start reviewing movies and shows on this channel too. So it's something I'm passionate about, just stories in general, not just games.
Maker. Where is Donick? I have to head this off before it goes to the Viscount.
I mean, why would it go to the
Maybe
Viscount?
a formal apology. Something that shows the guards they can still trust me.
People like each other, Aveline. That's how the human race exists. We wouldn't have gotten very far if everybody acted like this.
You're their captain, not a golem. They expect you to have feelings.
Not if they get in the way of the job.
When did they get in the way of the job?
Know that.
I won't be that stupid again.
My apologies, Sir Hawk, but I need a moment with the captain.
Guardsman Donick.
Please.
Don't forget to lock the door. Is there a basin in there? Oh god, why are we outside the door like this? Not the swoon giggle. That was a weird noise.
A fine day, isn't it, Chell?
Well, Aveline, you got some pep in your step now.
Aveline.
Guardsman Donick
You're positively glowing.
did not file a complaint. This was all incredibly stupid, and you made it wonderful.
Well, I told you. She did help with both, though.
I think you can safely claim both halves of that pair.
You're sweet. I knew asking you was the right thing.
You should just be thanking me I didn't get the 3 goats and the pile of wheat.
There's no way I can ever repay you. Perhaps it's simple. Thank you. Hey, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Was there a moment when you thought I was beyond help?
Not for a second.
You don't lie very well.
You don't flirt
As
very
far
well.
as you know.
Shout when you need me, Hawk. I'll always be here for you. Just knock first.
Right. Then, well, happy humping, Aveline. We made back some of that rivalry we gained. Alright, so that takes care of the hopeless romantic that we have. Didn't see a basin in there, so I think we're in the clear on being Uncle Hawk, at least for a while. Now, what do we have here? We have Dissent, we have Isabela. Isabela might like a ship in a bottle. Find her in Lowtown's Hangman Pub. I suppose we can go right to Isabela's quest here. Took care of Aveline, so taking care of Isabela makes sense. Get the 2 girls in the party done first.
I have something for you.
Ooh, what's this? Oh, isn't that just the cutest thing?
You can't see it, but below deck there's a perfect replica of you with a dozen sailors in attendance.
You tease. I'm sure there isn't. It is a worthy goal to work towards, however. Thank you, Hawk. This was a thoughtful gesture.
You're very welcome. Although, I'm not sure that that should be a worthy goal for you to work towards. We are currently kind of seeing each other. Alright, so now we have Anders or Meryl. Well, shit. Let's do Meryl. Actually, you know what? Let's do Anders. I haven't decided what I want to do with Meryl yet, so we're going to do Anders first. I still need to decide which road I'm going to take Meryl down. Because her story doesn't necessarily get a happy ending. And maybe I ought to show that to kind of show some of that. The darkness with mages and the things that they meddle with. I think that'll be good for their overall narrative, but it does not get a happy ending, so I haven't decided on that yet. Alright, Anders, what's going on with you?
Have you noticed how many Tranquil are in the gallows courtyard lately? And don't tell me I'm just sensitive to it. I've been watching, and every day there are new Tranquil, selling their bloody wares. Good mages too. People I know pass their harrowing.
That is against the law.
Doesn't Chantry law say that mages who pass their harrowing can't be made tranquil?
Exactly. The Templars
Not
are
100%
Rite of
true.
Tranquility to silence those who speak against them.
They're not doing
They're
that.
working on a deliberate plan to turn every mage in Kirkwall within the next 3 years.
I don't believe that. And also, mages not being allowed to be turned tranquil if they pass their heroin is not exclusively true. If you dabble in blood magic or you do certain crimes, you can be made tranquil, even if you were first enchanter. That could happen, so not entirely true. But I don't think they do that, Anders.
Whatever you think of Templars, you can't imagine they're so heartless.
They're worse. There are groups in Kirkwall who help those fleeing the Circle. I've talked to people on the inside. The plan is the work of a Templar named Sir Alrik. I've had a run-in with him myself. He's the one who did the ritual on Carl. Nasty piece of work. Likes to make mages beg.
Didn't we run into Sir Alrik ourselves? Isn't he the one with, Fuck, I don't remember. I don't remember the other Templar's name, but it was Emric, I think, right? It was when we saved those mages from the cave and we killed that blood mage, and we brought his lover home back to the Circle, rather stupidly. Like, she isn't in on all that. But I'm pretty sure Sir Alrik is the one that just wanted to kill them all.
What happened between you and Sir Ulrich?
I've been involved with an underground resistance. Mages living free in Kirkwall who help others escape. I can't tell you any more, for your sake and theirs. You have too much involvement with the Guard and nobility. Suffice it to say, I've been in the gallows.
That's a nice way to say you don't trust me.
Firsthand.
What, to be honest, with the way I'm playing this game, he has a right not to trust me, because if I knew he had blood mages holed up somewhere, I'd turn him in. I genuinely would.
What else do you know about Sir Ulrich?
The Knight Commander is at least sincere in her convictions. However misguided, she believes she's helping people. Sir Ulrich's a sadist. Cold-blooded as a lizard. He likes to experiment on mages. Find out what it takes to push them into the arms of demons.
Well, Sir Alrik sounds like a piece of shit. I'm more than happy to take care of that if what you're saying is true.
Then perhaps the blame can be laid on him, and not every Templar.
That's what I hope. If we bring the evidence of this plan to light, there must be men who'll stand against it.
Absolutely, there
Perhaps
would be.
even the Grand Cleric will finally be forced to act.
You already saw yourself that there are Templars who stand against it, like what happened with the
friends
mages.
from the Mage Underground know a way inside. A secret entrance under the walls of the gallows. Come with me tonight, please. Help me find the evidence of Sir Ulrich's tranquil solution.
What do you mean, tranquil solution?
That's what he calls it. His idea of a peaceful solution to the mage problem. To sunder the mind of every mage in the free marches. I'm told he's bringing his proposal to Val Royeaux, to the Divine herself. He would turn every mage in Thedas into a drooling simpleton under his command.
They hit the references a little hard on the head there, didn't they? They pretty much explicitly just said it's the final solution. They're drawing some mighty comparisons with Sir Ulrich, though. But like I said, of course I'll
If
help.
this plot exists, it must be exposed.
I am honored by your trust. I'm ready to go when you are. Our entrance is concealed not far from here.
Yep. What Anders needs to realize, and what he should have realized by seeing the things that he's seen while in our parties, not all Templars are like that. Bethany is completely fine. She's holding up very well in the mage circle, and she's like just as much of an apostate for all of her life as Anders was. I mean, she hasn't escaped from any circles, and she actually kind of likes it in there, which is telling that she is enjoying the circle. Of course, Anders doesn't want to hear about any of that stuff. I should show him the notes. But even disregarding Bethany, when we found those blood mages who actively had summoned demons, that cave was full of demons, and he literally saw somebody cast blood magic, and he saw those mages threaten to turn his ass in too, and Meryl. But instead, the other Templar didn't get them all executed. In fact, he stood by them, and he said if Alrik did kill them, that he would report him directly to the Divine. And those mages lived because of the other Templar, not because of Anders, not because of me, not because of whatever idealistic crap is in Anders's head. It was because of another Templar. So the way he talks about the Templars, it's not the Templars. He has a problem with a Templar. It's a very important distinction. It's not because of their title that they are the way that they are. It's because of the person itself. Just the same way as, I don't know, like a Republican or a Democrat or any of that stuff you could say. It's not because of what their it's not because of their title that they are nonsensical. It's because of the person individually, right? Like if a white person is acting like an asshole, it's not because they're white, and that goes for all the other races, religions, characteristics. It's not because of their characteristics, their titles and characteristics. It's because of who they are as a person. I have a problem with the singular one person, not the group that they identify as.
Let's go.
And this could do with a lesson in critical thinking and trying to analyze a situation, and also like just reflect on your ideals and opinions. Something I think is a good shout in general is
Find evidence of
if you believe something,
I'm taking it straight to the Grand Cleric.
you got an achievement for that.
She will not be able to claim you
If
traveled.
you believe something, not only should you try to, you know, temper your idea against other people who disagree with you, but you should also just reflect on that and temper it against yourself. Have a discussion with yourself, you know, always try and see the other side, see where the other side is coming from, see what they believe, why they believe that. Pay attention when you conversate with people, because a lot of times people's standpoints end up being quite reasonable, and I've talked to people from all sides, walks of life, and every time I speak to them, I find there's always a pretty understandable reason that they think that they do, and then I take their opinions, because personally I love talking to people I disagree with. I know some people find it really antagonistic, and they have a hard time kind of discussing those kinds of things, but I really enjoy it, because I have my opinions on things because I believe they're right, but I'll never know if they're right unless I hear other opinions and temper it. It has to be checked, right? Because if I'm wrong, unlike a lot of people in the world, unfortunately, but if I'm wrong, I'd like to know that I'm wrong, and then I'd like to adjust my opinion accordingly so that I am correct. I don't want to be the asshole out there that's like screaming from the rooftops with the wrong opinion, right? I believe the things I believe because I believe them to be true, but my mind is always open to be changed. I don't claim to have the final answers to all the, you know, the questions of life. I accept and acknowledge that I could make a mistake, so if I am making a mistake, I need to know that. It's very important, at least to me, and I wish Anders would think like that a little. Just, you know, you might be wrong, Anders. What if not every Templar in the world is a piece of shit? You know, like what if? What if you are on the wrong side of that discussion? What if whatever actions you want to take or you're planning on taking would be the exact wrong thing to do and lead to consequences that he has no idea they'll lead to? Like, just what if? Just reflect on it a little. Because you need to be concrete, absolute in your ideals when the stakes are as high as they are for what he's talking about, right? It's not like he's just talking about changing like the times on a bus station. This dude is talking about changing the world. The things that he wants with overthrowing the Chantry. And you also gotta think a little about the means justifying the ends, and if that's ever even a possible thing. Personally, I don't think it is. I don't think the means ever justify the ends past a certain point, right? Like, because if you want to discuss, you know, means justifying the end, you could say that humanity will never have peace on Earth, right? For as long as there's different opinions. But the way to get peace on Earth is you have to stop people from having different opinions and different belief systems. And the only way you'll ever do that is through war and buck burning and all that stuff, right? The end goal, one could say, would be noble, because then you'd have peace on Earth. But the ends don't justify the means. I would rather have the chaos of freedom and conflict between all these different factions of humanity, like there is in this game and like there is in real life, than have this utopian peace on Earth where nobody... You know what I mean? Where we erase history and we start locking people up for thoughts and things they say and all that stuff. The ends don't justify the means. And so Anders should be asking himself if the ends justify the means. And like I just said, I think they rarely do. I don't think they... Pretty much as a stand-on business statement, I would say the ends never justify the means past a certain point. If you have to do things that you are ashamed of, or that you would blame the enemy for doing in order to achieve your goal, then one, you're a hypocrite, because if you can do it, then, you know, standing against them for doing it is quite ironic. But two, like, you lose the right to speak about your goal when you do it as well. So, like, he's talking about mage freedom, right? If his solution to that, which it's not, but if it was, if his solution to that was to just imprison all Templars, for example, then he would be a giant hypocrite, because his whole thing is that he doesn't think mages should be imprisoned. And what he says that he believes is that every man deserves freedom, right? So then if he was infringing on the Templars' freedoms, then he would be a hypocrite. The ends wouldn't justify the means. Of course, what he ends up doing is way more extreme than that, but I really don't think I should touch on that until we get there in the game. But needless to say, and I'm sure it's quite obvious, I have a lot of problems with Anders as a character, and I think he's quite flawed. And I wish the game presented us with more of an opportunity to temper or convince him otherwise on a lot of these things. And then sometimes I just straight up wish that he would pay attention to the world around him, because a lot of times he's missing the forest for the trees, right? It's really easy to hyperfixate on negative things, which is what he does. He's so hyper-focused and fixated on this plight of the mages that he has in his head, that every time something good happens with a mage, like with Bethany, like with Wynne, like with the hero Ferelden in Dragon Age Awakening that saved him and brought him into the Warden Fold, he completely misses it, and all he can see is the bad. And granted, too, he wouldn't even be in this situation if he had manipulated Justice into joining his body instead of going back to the Fade, and then he hadn't abandoned his Warden Oath to hide out in Kirkwall, which has a whole gang of shit going on regardless of that, where mages really just shouldn't be in Kirkwall regardless because of how twisted and thin the veil is. But even all that, if he hadn't just abandoned his post, he wouldn't be in this mess. But again, he missed the trees for the forest. He had a really good thing going there. He could have maybe redeemed himself and stood for something for once, but instead he abandoned that to come here and do whatever he's doing.
Please, I haven't done anything wrong.
That's a lie. What do we do to mages who lie?
I just wanted to see my mum. No one ever told her where they were taking me.
I don't believe that.
No, this is their place. We cannot...
So, you admit your attempted escape? You know what happens to mage girls who don't toe the line around here, don't you?
Okay, this dude's a
Please,
fucking
no.
creep.
Don't make me tranquil. I'll do anything.
That's right. Once you're tranquil, you'll do anything I ask.
Yeah, I don't like the tone that he's using with all that.
The Chantry frowns on Templars who take personal advantage of their charges.
Who's this?
You fiends will never touch a mage again.
I agree. So everyone here, I am actually on board with what Anders thinks about them, because they're all culpable. They're all standing by and watching that. They're about to watch him take advantage of that girl. He's talking about, like, you'll do whatever I say once you're tranquil, creepy and shit. And they're all standing by just accepting that. So they all get to go with him to the afterlife. No questions asked. They all get to go with him. So Alrik here is going to be the first one to get cooked. And we'll deal with the rest after. Well, Anders unfortunately died.
Thank God.
But I think we can still make the magic happen here. As long as I pull an aggro, we should be okay. Perfect.
They will die! I will have every last Templar for these abuses.
Every last Templar, huh? Even the good ones. And justice is completely corrupted here, and that's because of Anders. Anders' nature is completely twisted and corrupted justice, and now he's vengeance. Now he's just blind rage. And that's Anders' fault.
It's over, Anders. They're all dead.
I don't think we're talking to Anders.
Every one of them will feel justice's burn.
Get away from me, demon!
I am no demon. Are you one of them, that you would call me such?
Anders, that girl is a mage. We rescued her from being made tranquil.
She is theirs. I can feel their hold on her.
She's the reason you're fighting, Anders. Don't turn on her now.
Please, Messer.
He was about to kill her too. And if you don't pick that option, he does kill her.
Baker, no. I almost...
Yeah.
If you weren't here, I need to get out of here.
Yeah, you do. Maybe that will finally be enough of an edge to make him reflect on his positions and stances. He's so obsessed with all this that he's even willing to kill a mage over it. The whole thing he's about, and he's about to smoke a mage for that. Alright, so Alrik's letter. To Her Excellency, Divine Justinia, I am well aware both you and Knight Commander Meredith have rejected my proposal, but I beg you to reconsider. The mages in the Free Marches are past controlling. Their numbers have doubled in 3 years, and they have found a way to plant their abominations in our ranks. They cannot be contained. The Tranquil solution is our answer. All mages at the age of majority must be made tranquil. They'll coexist peacefully, retain their usefulness, a perfect strategy. It's simply the best way to ensure mages obey the laws of men and Maker. I remain, as always, your obedient servant, Sir Otto Alrik. Like I said, I'm obviously glad that he's dead. Even the way he discussed mages in that note, like, they'll maintain their usefulness, it'll be perfect. Like, these are human beings. I mean, at least he said... The only redeeming fucking word in that whole thing is that he said they wouldn't do it to the children. But he's obviously a cockroach, and I'm very glad that we just put an end to him. You won't find me crying over spilled Sir Alrik. But...
You're such a slave driver.
I mean, Anders about to slaughter that innocent mage. Like, just killing a mage in the name of mages. He's clearly out of control. And it seemed like he knew that for a brief moment. Not enough of a moment to make a difference. But again, this is... Justice is there because of Anders. And now they're so connected. I think he said it himself. They're so connected, they can't even fix
saved
that.
my life, Messer. What was that thing?
That was an abomination.
He's a demon, whether he admits it or not.
Can I go home now?
So, now Anders has put me in the wonderful situation where if I send her back to the circle, she's probably cooked. She fled the circle, Templars pursued her, they're all dead. If I send this girl back, she's gonna be punished for Anders doing what he did right there. We can't send her back. She seems like a sweet girl. And even right as being made tranquil, she didn't summon a demon, so I have no qualms about this girl's intentions, and sending her to the circle is as good as sending her to death after what we just did, so she needs to go somewhere safe. Go home, go see her mother. Just do something.
Find your parents, but don't stay there. You must leave Kirkwall.
I know. There's nowhere in the city where Sir Ulric's men won't find me. Thank you, Messer. Andraste herself must have put you in that room.
I know exactly where you should go. You should go to the Ferelden Circle. You should go talk to Wynn or Best Enchanter Irvin, and I think they'll take care of you. I think they definitely take you into. If Anders hadn't have, you know, created that situation, and I mean the Mage Underground, right? That's another thing too. If the Mage Underground had never existed and Anders' friends weren't piling mages through the underground right there to escape the circle, she would have never been in that situation. She wouldn't have been about to be made tranquil, because the Divine and Knight Commander Meredith, keep in mind, rejected the plan to make mages tranquil. They don't want that. Meredith had no intention of making all these mages tranquil. She doesn't believe in that, and neither does the Grand Cleric. So the system is not as corrupt as everybody would have you believe it is, or at least as corrupt as Anders would have you believe it is. That situation was created by him and his friends. Of course, he's not going to see it that way, though.
Trash. Trash. Keep. Trash. Trash.
Gonna run away again.
Won't be needing that anymore.
This is all Sir Ulrik had. Looks like the Tranquil solution began and ended with him.
Let me see that. The Divine rejected the idea. Meredith rejected the idea.
Of course they did.
This was not what I expected. Perhaps I should try talking to the Grand Cleric. Maybe she's more reasonable than I thought.
The only one who isn't reasonable here is you.
I will think on what you've said.
Maybe you'll finally have a brainstem now. Think about your positions and decisions. Maybe. I won't hold my breath on that, but just maybe. Now, I wonder if I still gotta give you your injury kit. I don't. The quest healed you up for me. Wonderful. Yeah, I still don't think that'll be enough to walk him off the ledge that he's on with his... Well, let's just call a spade a spade, right? He's an extremist. He's borderline a terrorist, really. He's not quite crossed that line yet, but he's well on his way. He's certainly a radical and an extremist. He hasn't crossed the line to terrorist yet, but he's well on his fucking way. So, maybe, just maybe, seeing things like that, if he saw enough of it, maybe he would turn away from whatever the hell he thinks should go on here, because he's wrong. He just is. He doesn't have the right idea or the right way of things here. It's not... The world isn't as he sees it and perceives it. I know probably a lot of people think that it is, but it's not. The one true Pantaloons. Is that a fetch quest? It almost has to be, right, with a name like that.
It's not a good feeling, you know.
What?
Being an abomination. I just got a taste of your future.
I'm not that foolish. Our relationship is, strictly platonic.
It's like you're trapped in your own body, seeing out your eyes, while someone else moves you like a puppet.
And
you're trying to scream.
And you still don't understand.
But there's no escape.
You still don't see other people's perspectives.
So you look down at the blood on your hands.
Stop it! You're scaring me.
That's the
Good.
point.
Yeah. Good. You need to be scared straight, and his hypocrite ass needs to understand.
Something of yours, sir.
His own words apply to him too. But you took justice inside you regardless, didn't you, Anders? Consequences be damned. 35 physical is not something I will ever be interested in. 33 electric, however, that has some potential. Dissension. That's Templar armor, I believe. Okay, so we got some amulets. I won't be needing much of this. Most of my companions already have, like, jewelry cranked out of their minds. He has nothing to sell us either that we're interested in, so... The Dupuis family chapeau is actually quite interesting. That is, the guy who's investigating the serial killer with us. Well, that says that he's investigating the serial killer with us. The Dupuis family is his crest, so I guess he sold all his family equipment to that merchant on his way out of the high life to go investigate this. That's an interesting little detail. Anyways, that is going to be the perfect spot to wrap this one up, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, you appreciate what I do here, then please do check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. I do reviews of games we beat here on the channel. I'm going to do Q&As, it's milestones, and I also do updates on upcoming projects and things like that. Also just a direct way to support me. There is a free join and a paid join. If you want to pay a little, I would love the generosity, but it's also free. Just being a member helps in general. You can totally do the free tier. There's no difference between tiers. I'm not paywalling anything, and I never will. I promise that to you right now. There'll never be a paywall on anything I do here on the channel. So if you are interested in any of that, then please do check that out. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon with more Dragon Age 2. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Ciao.